Hey guys, I wasn't going to film this, but in the end I thought there's a couple of ways you can cock this up, so I decided I would film it after all. This is a Ducati Diavel. As you'll remember, I've been reporting a fair bit of corrosion, despite this being carefully hand washed and dried with hot air pretty much after every use. This is the clutch lever, and you can see hopefully all of the bubbling and the corrosion on this. Absolutely shocking, frankly. So you see that bit here where this corrosion has just blown up off the surface. The same thing's just happened on the mirror. Where are we? Yeah, here. Yeah, that was a lump, and I thought, well, that's strange. What's stuck to that? But it was corrosion's popped off all the black finish, and when you rub it, you just down to the bare corrosion. So although I'm complaining to Ducati and Ducati Cambridge, who will be replacing this under warranty, I've pretty much had to go out and buy some aftermarket levers, and what I'll do is I'll keep them on there until I sell the bike, and then I can put all these new original parts back on and just, you know, put it back to stock. So these levers that I've got are from an eBay seller, and I'll pop the link in the description. I looked at levers from sort of 30 quid all the way up to 250 quid. These for a pair were £60, and I'm really pleased with them. They came at, next day delivery pretty much. They are foldable, although I've got the protection arm on here. These will fold up if you drop the bike, just to protect them enough maybe to get you home, because they're certainly going to be scratched and messed up. But that's very nice. Let me just go round to the rider's position. There is a 4mm bolt here, and you can loosen that, and then this half will slide backwards and forwards, so you can get these just at the right length, whether you want to just do a couple of fingers or 3, 4, whatever. Finish is really nice. I don't know whether this is going to show up very well. You have adjustment 1 to 6 here, and that just brings the lever back in. Don't suppose I'll need to change it from the maximum out setting. Couple of points here. On the original, you need to transfer. So if you look down here, there's a little rubber seal, and the lever is operating a little plunger that's on a round rod that's gone into there, and in the middle of this rod that you can see the end of, there is a little rubber tip plunger, and as you squeeze the lever, obviously the plunger goes in and operates the piston in the reservoir. But that piece needs to be transferred from the original. That's right, I lost the lever for a minute. So what you need to do is that will be in there, and this dowel is pressed in and it holds it together, but you cannot get the little piece that slots into here out. I think I've got this back around the wrong way, because it kind of only comes out that far, which isn't enough to get the piece that you need out, so you must drive this dowel out. So if you just support the lever, I used a couple of pieces of the socket set, and then found the smallest socket that was the same diameter, and just drove it through and knocked the pin out. Remove the piece that is then free to come out from here, and transfer it over onto the new lever. As I said, there are two ways to cock this up. The first way is not to have this rubber boot all the way over. I really should have filmed this before assembling it, but the little plunger has a groove around it, and that groove is to allow this rubber boot, get my finger in the right place, the groove around the plunger, which is now inside here, allows this rubber boot edge to slip into the groove and keep it nice and sealed. What you'll find is when you assemble this lever and put it on the bike and push the plunger in, the rubber goes back in with it. So the way to hold the rubber out is just get some thin nose pliers and just gently, either side, gently pinch the rubber, and that just squeezes it down, and it just seems to poke out this way a little bit, and then assemble the lever and push the plunger in. If you don't do that, it's going to have a sort of dimpled effect. This rubber will be further in towards the cylinder, the brake fluid cylinder, so make sure that's correct. The other thing you can also cock up is there's a little brass pin underneath, and you can see the little clutch micro switch lever here. It is possible, if you're not watching what you're doing, to have the micro switch lever the other side here of that pin. Obviously you don't want that. The micro switch has to operate that way, so you can start the bike if it's in gear by pulling the clutch in. On mine, this little brass pin was at a funny angle, which made me look at it, and then I realised it was actually loose, and a very helpful eBay seller said that actually the hole that this brass pin goes into is slightly tapered, so in my case I just pushed it in and gave it a couple of little taps, so just to secure it at the bottom of the taper. But yeah, do make sure you've got that the correct way. But yeah, we're just going to do the brake one now, not anticipating any issues, but I think it's quite quite shocking that this is so badly damaged and corroded after. Well, apparently I got the bike beginning of June, and I really didn't start riding it till I think July, end of June, July. So it's had, what, 7 months I think. So yeah, not entirely impressed with that. I'm told on good authority that these levers are actually made by Brembo for Ducati. I don't see why that wouldn't be true if somebody who works for Ducati has told me that. But yes, I've got to photograph all of the corrosion, and hopefully they will just get replacement parts in. When I sell the bike, I will swap them out for the original stock items. So yeah, very pleased with that. It looks nice. Just going to move over and do the brake.